Today we're going to look at Lesson 20 of Module 2. The objective says, divide 2 and 3-digit dividends by 2-digit divisors with single-digit quotients and make connections to the written method. Number 1 says, divide, then check with multiplication. So letter A says 55 divided by 23. Let's set up the problem at this time. 55 is being divided by 23. Now the best thing you can do on a problem like this is estimate in your head. So you can take 23 down to 20 and 55 down to 50. So then think in your head, how many times can 20 go into 50? It can go in twice. It's always a good starting point to estimate because then if you don't have the right number, you're only one off. So let's try a 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. And now we'll subtract. 5 will change into a 4. We have to regroup. 15 minus 6 is 9. So we end up with 2 remainder 9. It says to check our work with multiplication. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 23. We're going to multiply it by 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. And then we're going to add the remainder to that amount, which is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. Carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. We get 55, which was the original number that we started with, so the work checks out. Let's move on to 1b. 1b says 86 divided by 16. So again, you can kind of estimate here. You can say, well, 16 is close to 20, 86 is close to 80. 20 can go into 80 4 times. So let's start with a 4 here. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And it looks like this isn't going to work. It looks like we're going to get a number that is too large. You can never have a number here that is bigger than the outside number. So we're going to have to start over. Let's set the problem up again. 86 is being divided by 16. We know that 4 was too small, so let's move up to 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8, and we get 80. 86 minus 80 is 6, so you have 5, remainder 6 is an answer. Now we can check our work. 16 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Add the remainder that was left over, and you get 86, which again checks out. So 86 divided by 16 is 5, remainder 6. Let's move on to problem number 2. Question number 2 says, a number divided by 31 has a quotient of 4 with 24 as a remainder. Find the number and show your work. Well, let's get this set up. So a number divided by 31 has a quotient of 4 and 24 as a remainder. So here's what we know. Here's the division symbol. We know the number is being divided by 31, so 31 will go here. We know that the quotient, or the answer, is 4, and that there's a remainder of 24. What we don't know is the number that belongs right here. How can we find it? It's kind of like working backwards like we did when we checked our work on number 1. We're going to start by taking 31 and multiplying it by 4. So you have 31 times 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. We're almost there. Now we have to take the remainder, which is 24, and add it to our answer, our current answer. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus nothing is 1. If we did this correctly, the answer that goes in here should be 148. Now we can actually check our work. What we're saying is 31 can go into 148 4 times with a remainder of 24. Let's start with 4 times 1, which is 4. 4 times 3, which is 12. And now we'll subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2, so we get our remainder of 24. So by working backwards, we are able to solve that the missing dividend was 148. Let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3 says, Mrs. Silverstein sold 91 cupcakes at a school fair. The cupcakes were sold in boxes of a baker's dozen, which is 13. She sold all the cupcakes at $15 per box. How much money did she receive? Let's go through here and underline any information that's important. First, it says that she sold 91 cupcakes at the school fair. They were sold in a baker's dozen, which is 13. She sold all the cupcakes at $15 per box, and we need to figure out how much money she received in total. So the first thing we need to do here is see how many boxes of cupcakes she sold. So she had 91 total cupcakes, and she sold them in boxes of 13. So now we have the problem 91 divided by 13. At this point, I would again use estimating. I would round 13 up to 15. If you count by 15s, off to the side here, I'll do a little tally. 15 plus 15 is 30, plus another 15 is 45, plus another 15 would be 60, plus another 15 would be 75, and another 15 would give us 90. So 13 could go into 91 about 6 times. Let's try that to start. 6 times 3 is 18, carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and now we'll subtract. You cannot take 8 away from 1, so we need to regroup. The 9 becomes an 8. This becomes an 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. 8 minus 7 is 1. If you look here, this cannot be the same as the outside number. So we know we did something wrong here. We need to go back to the drawing board. Estimating doesn't always work, but it gives us a good starting point. We know our answer is too small, so we're going to cross it out, and we're going to try it again. 91 divided by 13. We're going to try 7 now. Let's see if 7 works out with this equation. 7 times 3 is 21. Carry the 2. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9, and sure enough, that works out. So what we get here is we know that Mrs. Silverstein sold 7 boxes of her cupcakes at a food fair. That doesn't solve the question, though. Now that we have the 7, we need to take that and work it into the problem with the $15 per box. So she charged $15 per box, and she sold 7 boxes total. Let's solve the multiplication problem. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10, and we found out that Mrs. Silverstein made $105 at the food fair. This concludes our lesson on Lesson 20, Divide 2- and 3-digit dividends by 2-digit divisors with single-digit quotients. If you have any questions about this lesson, bring them in to our next class.